Amateur rider Lorna Brooke has died in hospital following a fall at Taunton earlier this month. Racing is in mourning after the death of amateur jockey Lorna Brooke following the effects of a heavy fall at Taunton earlier this month. Brooke was riding Orchestrated for her mother, Lady Susan Brooke, when the horse fell at the third fence in a handicap chase on 8th of April. The 37-year-old was taken to intensive care at Southmead Hospital in Bristol for observation and tests on a suspected spinal injury. After complications, she was placed in an induced coma on Friday. A statement from the Injured Jockeys Fund on Monday confirmed she had died. "It is with deep sadness that we have to share the tragic news that Lorna Brooke passed away yesterday," they said. Her family thank everyone for their kindness in the last few weeks, particularly the staff at Southmead Hospital who were so professional. They will be having a private funeral and will hold a celebration of Lorna's life once COVID restrictions allow. A minute's silence will be held before Monday's British race meetings. The Jockey Club were among those to pay tribute to Brooke, who rode 17 winners in Britain and Ireland over her career. "We are deeply saddened to learn of the passing of Lorna Brooke," said a statement. "Our thoughts and condolences are with Lorna's family and friends." Brooke enjoyed one of her most successful days at Fairyhouse. The last jockey to die on a British racecourse as a result of a fall was Tom Halliday at Market Rasen in July 2005. It had been nearly a decade before that Richard Davis lost his life at Southwell in 1996, while Philip Barnard was killed at Twinkton in 1991 and Vivian Kennedy at Huntingdon in 1988. Brooke had ridden in more than 300 races, mostly for her mother, since she started riding in public and had partnered 17 winners in Britain and Ireland since the 2001-02 season. She enjoyed her highest-profile success in the inaugural Ladies' Handicap Chase at Fairyhouse on Moonlone Lane for Paul Stafford in 2015. A 25-1 chance, Moonlone Lane had failed to win in a 26-race career up to that point, but Brooke guided him home in front, with prominent female riders Katie Walsh, Lizzie Kelly, Rachel Blackmore and Nina Carberry all finishing in her wake. "It's tragic news, it really is shocking," Stafford told Sky Sports Racing. "When she got the fall, people were very concerned, we were too, and we were saying prayers, but unfortunately this has happened. She was a lovely person, obviously she rode that winner for us and we kept in contact over the years through social media, congratulating each other on social media when each of us had winners. It's shocking it's happened." Thinking back to the day at Fairyhouse, Stafford added, "He'd never won a race until she rode him that day. She took the bull by the horns, went on, and it paid off. She gave him a fantastic ride. I'd never met Lorna before that, she was more or less allocated the ride, but I knew she was a capable rider. It worked out and she rode him several times again, winning at Musselburgh. She was over the moon that day at Fairyhouse, and her family. I met her mother at Bangor one day and she's lovely too. I send my condolences to her family, my heart goes out to them." The multiple champion jockey AP McCoy was among those to pay tribute following the news. He stated on Twitter, "Heartbreakingly sad news. Thoughts and prayers with her family. R.I.P. Lorna." The chief executive of the British Horse Racing Authority, Julie Harrington, said, "Everybody at the BHA is devastated by this news. Lorna was a much-loved member of our sport, in which she and her family are steeped. Lorna demonstrated many of the qualities that make British racing so special. She was a proud competitor and somebody who was driven by an abundance of love not only for the sport but for the horses she competed with. My thoughts, along with everybody else who loves racing, are with Lorna's family, friends and colleagues at this dreadful time." Her father is Sir Alistair Brooke, the 4th Baronet Brooke of Almonbury. The title dates back to 1664. She was said to be awake and alert when paramedics reached her before being rushed to hospital in an air ambulance. There, she underwent observations and tests for a suspected spinal injury. She was placed into a coma following observations. Orchestrated was unscathed following the fall. What is brain swelling, and what causes it? Brain swelling can be caused by a multitude of different factors, including injuries, infections, tumors and high altitudes. Traumatic brain injury is caused by damaging the head in some way, such as from a fall or car accident. The damage can be done by the fast movement of the head, as well as the impact itself. The initial injury can cause the tissue in the brain to swell up. The body's reaction to the injury can also accelerate the swelling. Broken bone fragments can cause blood vessels in the brain to burst. If the swelling gets too severe, it can stop fluids from leaving the brain. Her family thank everyone for their kindness in the last few weeks, particularly the staff at Southmead Hospital who were so professional. They will be having a private funeral and will hold a celebration of Lorna's life once COVID restrictions allow. Brooke rode 17 winners in Britain and Ireland. She rode for countless trainers, including her mother who she rode for more than 300 times. One was Shropshire-based trainer John Grucott, who she rode for, told the Racing Post after her death, "She was the most wonderful lady. She was passionate about horses and rode because she loved it. It's just a tragedy and terribly sad as Lorna was the loveliest person you'd hope to meet. We have a lot of exceptional female jockeys and she was probably a bit before her time in that regard. She's one of the ladies who set the standards early doors." Others in the world of racing were quick to react to the shocking news. Jockey Harry Bannister wrote, "Devastating to hear about Lorna Brooke, puts everything into perspective. Thoughts go to her family, friends and all who knew her. What a very sad day indeed. #r.i.p. The BHA released a statement following the announcement, which read, "The entire racing community is in mourning. We ask for the privacy of Lorna's family to be respected at this time and we await the opportunity to celebrate her young life when restrictions allow." It included the thoughts of the regulator's chief executive Julie Harrington, who said, "Lorna was a much-loved member of our sport, in which she and her family are steeped. She demonstrated many